Despite their history of friendship, Jana Duggar and Jill Dillard seem to be arguing based on Jana's wedding choices. Since her wedding in August of 2024, Jana Duggar has spent the time attempting to make money off of it. While many of the Duggar family's fans have loved watching her wedding day unfold on YouTube, the videos have had an unexpected consequence. People think Jana iced Jill Dillard because of her new videos. Fans of the Duggar family saw right away that something was wrong when Jana Duggar shared the first wedding photos. No one among the wedding party was Jill Dillard. She went to the wedding as an invited guest instead. Later on, a fan asked Jill why she hadn't been invited to be a bridesmaid, and she said she wasn't sure. She continued by saying that the bride had complete freedom to choose who she wanted to celebrate her big day with. It seemed at first that Jill wasn't the only one who had been left out. Jennifer Duggar and Josie Duggar were also absent from the official family portrait. Jana recently uploaded a video on YouTube in which Jennifer and Josie were seen, but not in the traditional role of bridesmaids. On the contrary, they seem to have been assigned the responsibility of supervising the several flower girls who were present at Jana's wedding. Amid the little ones, they made their way down the aisle. Now that we know what Josie and Jennifer were up to during Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman's wedding, we can see that Jill was the lone Duggar sibling who stayed out of the ceremony. The elopement rejection is only one of several problems. Jill and her family seem to have been overlooked during the major occasion, in addition to not being included in the bridal party. There were a few of Jana's siblings who were involved in the wedding, but there were also 10 brothers and their wives who were not. They took their seats in the front rows, as is customary, during the ceremony. In the first row, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar sat with a few of their children. In the adjacent second row sat a number of adult Duggars. Out of all the Duggar couples, Jill and Derek Dillard were the only ones who did not sit in the front rows throughout the ceremony. Separated from the rest of the family, the pair took seats a few rows back. Whoever made the decision is still a mystery. The seats assigned to the newlyweds and Jill's absence from the wedding party give the impression that the long-rumored animosity between the sisters is really happening. Jill and her elder sister seemed to be very close until she and Derek decided to establish limits with the Duggars. Jana went so far as to be the maid of honor at Jill's wedding in 2014. On the other hand, it's been a while since we saw them together in a major manner. Subsequently, Jill came clean about the fact that she keeps in touch with some of her siblings, but not others. It is possible that Jana is one of the siblings to whom she has severed ties. Everyone is curious about the Duggar siblings' relationship dynamics as the family has always been in the spotlight. Among the most recent and talked about events was the wedding party of Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard in August 2024. Not only were the happy moments covered extensively, but there were also hints of family strife, most notably that Jana Duggar, Jill's elder sister, didn't seem very welcoming. The storyline surrounding Jana's possible rejection keeps viewers enthralled as new clues surface. The fact that Jana has chosen to remain silent about Jill's wedding has been a major red flag. Fans observed that Jana Duggar didn't post anything at all to congratulate Jill and Derek, unlike her siblings Jessa Seewald and Johannah Forsyth. It was impossible to miss Jana's lack of engagement coming from a family that often shares updates about special occasions. Jana, on the other hand, isn't shy about posting about her siblings' parties, so her disinterest in Jill's wedding stands out. The assumption was further reinforced by eyewitness accounts from the wedding. Jana, who normally keeps her cool under pressure, was very quiet throughout the ceremony. She kept her distance from Jill and Derek and mostly engaged in small chat with them, according to those who saw the celebration. Although she was not as actively engaged as some of her siblings in the planning and execution of the wedding, Jana was said to have attended. A witness at the ceremony noted that Jana was hardly visible, in contrast to Johannah and Jessa, who were both visible to assist with the decor and provide emotional support to the bride. This was noteworthy since she was known as the sister who always took charge when it came to organizing family gatherings. Some viewers thought her lack of enthusiasm may have been an indication of underlying animosity between the sisters. The wedding photos added another level of mystery. Unlike her siblings, Jana seems to be keeping a low profile in most of the group photos that people have posted. Casual onlookers and specialists in the field of body language both picked up on the nuances of discomfort or disconnection. Unlike the typical Duggar family hug, Jana stood at the periphery of a family gathering in one striking shot, her body slightly tilted away from Jill and Derek. Many fans speculated on social media that the placing and emotions in these images were not random coincidences. Some saw Jana's decision to stay on the sidelines as a sign that she and Jill were emotionally distant. Some, meanwhile, warned against putting too much stock in static pictures, arguing that photos just record a fleeting moment in time and so can be deceiving. The wedding reception seating chart was another source of dispute. Unlike several of the younger Duggar siblings and acquaintances of the family, Jana was reportedly placed at a table further away from Jill and Derek. Such a sitting arrangement appeared out of place in a family whose members are famously close. Uncertainty about whether Jana was assigned a specific seat or whether it was part of a larger agreement only served to heighten the tension in their relationship. Interestingly, several close to the family have dropped hints that the guest list might have caused friction. People started to wonder whether Jana had any say in who was invited or not invited to the wedding. It would be revealing if the Duggar family seemed to disagree over guest selections, given their history of controlling narratives and keeping a united face. Considering the larger context of Jana and Jill's history of difficulties is essential to properly comprehending the possible snub at Jill's wedding. Jill has been forthright over the years about how she chose to break away from her strict upbringing. Crucial episodes that caused rifts were her departure from the family's rigid religious lifestyle and the publication of her book, which revealed intimate family affairs. The conservative ideals of the Duggar family, however, have not wavered for Jana. Although she has refrained from openly criticizing Jill, there may have been hidden tensions caused by her unwavering devotion to their parents' lifestyle. Because of their different life experiences, the sisters may have found it difficult to retain the intimacy they had enjoyed, which is typical of the complex relationships within families. Constantly on the lookout, fans have picked up further nuanced social media cues that might indicate Jana's likely rejection. As an example, Jill tagged many siblings in her postings that included behind-the-scenes photographs and stories about the wedding preparations. It was clear that Jana's name was missing from these references. Furthermore, Jana's personal postings during the wedding period dealt with unconnected topics, such as personal projects. A number of admirers see these sisters' actions on social media as signs of a widening rift between them. According to them, Jana is trying to put some space between herself and the most contentious parts of Jill's life and her disclosures, which is why she hasn't received much public support for Jill. Some think Jana just wants to keep her emotions to herself and stays out of troublesome situations. There may not be hard evidence that Jana Duggar purposefully ignored Jill during her wedding, but the indicators do point to a complicated and changing relationship. The Duggars are a huge, public family, so their every move, or lack thereof, is seen the world over. Subtle social clues, Jana's reserved behavior during the wedding, and her lack of public revelry all add up to the story of a possible snub. What seems like distance now might alter with time and healing, or relationships are flexible, after all. Being sisters is fundamental to Jana and Jill's life, and they have enjoyed many experiences and milestones together. Only time will reveal whether this seeming rejection is just a blip or a sign of a more fundamental rift. We may never know Jana's genuine motivations for her actions during Jill's wedding, since in the Duggar family, public opinion and private lives often collide. But the clues keep leading viewers to question what the real story is behind this dynamic family's constant change.